You are Locked On 76ers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into the show, everybody. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers Postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta. It's great to have you along for the ride. Oh, my goodness gracious. I was enjoying the heck out of the first half. I really was. Good. It was great basketball. Sixers were shooting the lights out. The Houston Rockets couldn't throw it into the ocean, so to speak. It was an incredible first half for the Sixers. Then the third quarter happened. You could certainly say that was our turning point of the game. But really, it came with about 3:30 left in regulation when the Houston Rockets really started to take control of this game. Again, the Sixers went up by as many as 25 in the game. They went up 10 points with about 3:52 remaining, and then the Rockets put them over their knee and took full advantage of a short-staffed 76ers squad that was also coming off a game just last night in Dallas that they unfortunately won. And instead, the Sixers today gave us yet again another picture-perfect loss. Now, what's a perfect loss again? Well, it's a game where the Sixers fight. They show you something, like Quentin Grimes, for instance, and then they lose. And they keep the main thing, which in this case is a draft pick. And that's what I'm hoping the Sixers are able to hold on to, while still showing me that they could have some guys that will help them out down the line in the future, especially with Paul George being put on ice now officially for the remainder of the season with just 14 games left. But once again, welcome into Locked On Sports Philadelphia. This is your Locked On 76ers Postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta, and we will start it off with none other than our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It goes without saying, when you get your first career double-double, you chip in 46 points, and you also have 13 rebounds, also a career high, that you are going to be the player of the game. And the player of the game today for the Philadelphia 76ers, because I can never name someone who's not on the Sixers, Quentin Grimes. Of course, leading all scorers with those 46 points, was phenomenal. Phenomenal in the fourth quarter, especially after the Sixers really packed it in that third quarter and just got their doors blown off, allowing the Rockets to come back from 25 points down. Quentin Grimes, in the early portions of the fourth quarter, went on a personal 7-0 run for at least the moment to establish the 76ers going back in control of the basketball game. Unfortunately, he had a phenomenal game, and it was for naught, at least when it comes to trying to pick up the victory. He is the player of the game. There was one moment that I will pinpoint as the no question about it turning point of the game. Let's jump into that.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Very easy to look at. 9 seconds remaining in regulation. Quentin Grimes has the ball. Sixers are moving it around. The Houston Rockets are looking to foul. The ball ends up in Quentin Grimes' hands again with 9 seconds left. He throws an atrocious pass into the middle of the court. It gets intercepted. They go the other way. Jabari Smith ends up going to the foul line. They intentionally foul him, put him at the line. He makes one free throw, then misses the second free throw on purpose, and it was picture perfect. It was the drill you would run in practice if you try to miss the second shot intentionally. He goes to the line with the Rockets down 3 points. He makes the first free throw, gently lays it on the back of the rim, and it just caroms off ever so lightly into Şengün's hands, and he gets the easy layup. Ties the game. Sixers go down the other end. They run a play with Quentin Grimes, like in the Tyrese Maxey position, where the Sixers have used Tyrese Maxey before, where they have him going with a full head of steam from the opposite end of the court, from the defensive end of the court, running up with a full head of steam across the midcourt, trying to get a three or a layup or an N1, whatever. But instead, they have Grimes in that position. He just basically plays decoy, like a spread offense type of thing. Jalen Hood-Schifino gets the ball at the top of the key, dribble drive penetration, pulls up from just inside the three-point line and clanks it off the rim for what would be the game-winning shot, and the Sixers are headed to overtime with the Houston Rockets. But that turnover, it was one of 6 on the night for Quentin Grimes. I'm not mad at him. They're not even close to being in this game without it. But that turnover with 9 seconds left ended up being the turning point and pretty much sealing the Sixers' fate, unfortunately, because the momentum was all in the hands of the Houston Rockets. As far as some other notables that we could look at, checking into the box score here, Justin Edwards, 18 points for you. Jared Butler going in with 21 points for you. Off the bench, Jalen Hood-Schifino, 12 points. Jeff Doughton, 11 points for you off the bench. Again, the bench, at least two players off the bench doing a decent job for you. But something else to keep in mind here, the Sixers did not have a center tonight. Andre Drummond's out. Gershon Yabusele missed tonight's game as well. The Sixers, Dembona is still out with that left ankle sprain, and the Sixers are still out there getting 35 rebounds, again, 13 of them by way of Quentin Grimes. He was well on track throughout the night to get him a double-double, and tonight was his first career double-double. You love to see that from him. Absolutely an insane game that also got a little chippy. Guys being ejected from the Houston Rockets, guys being fouled out from the Houston Rockets, little shoving match there towards the end of the third quarter, I believe it was. Oh, my goodness gracious. This game had it all, including, I've been calling them perfect losses. Really what they come down to for me, they're the only moral victories I will ever award. When the goal is obviously to lose, and it certainly looks like the NBA doesn't want the Sixers to get that draft pick. They were awarding fouls to they were giving fouls to the Houston Rockets, even though I didn't think that was that crazy. Fred VanVleet getting the flagrant 2 and automatic ejection. The NBA of today is a hell of a lot softer than the NBA a lot of us grew up with. I will say that. It was a hard foul. It was a make sure you don't make it foul. And that's exactly what he did. I think the thing that absolutely cost him was the full head of steam that he had. And I in no way, shape, or form think that Fred VanVleet has mad hops or anything. But, oh, my God, he barely left the ground. You could barely slide a credit card under. Like, if he would have jumped and actually gone for the ball and not just the body, and maybe not wind up as much, then I think it's an obvious flagrant 1, not a flagrant 2, but he got it elevated, and he got tossed out of the game. And like I said, there was a little shoving match going on in this one with Eason as well, him going after Ricky Council. Him going after Jeff Doughton as well. Jalen Green getting in on it also. It was a fun game to watch. I am glad the Sixers did not win this game. I said even during the first half of this game, and we'll talk about this in a second, but I said even during the first half of this game that agendas aside, the agenda obviously being that you want the 76ers to lose so you can keep that top 6 pick, or at least have the best opportunity possible to keep that top 6 pick. Agendas aside, it was fun to watch in that first half when the Sixers just couldn't miss. Setting, by the way, tying a franchise high with 24 made threes in the game, especially being the way they started things off in that first half. But the third quarter, things could not have fallen apart worse for the Sixers in that third quarter. In total, they get outscored 45-24 in that third quarter alone. Then it's a slugfest, mostly metaphorically speaking, in that fourth quarter. Quentin Grimes steadies the ship. You get some great output from Jared Butler in that quarter. But unfortunately, things really fell apart leading up to that steal. But the steal was the icing on the cake with 9 seconds left, as I highlighted earlier. The turning point of the game. When we come back, we'll highlight a little bit more of what went on in that third quarter and fourth, as well as overtime. That's when we return on Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers Postcast. I'm Mark Farzetta, back after this. I really hope you guys are taking full advantage of all DoorDash has to offer, because NBA fans, they swoosh, you save. Thanks to Dash Pass from DoorDash. Every time a player drops 50 or more points in the game, you score a huge deal the next day. It's very simple. When a player hits 50 or more points in the game during the regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off the offer, up to $10 off. You get up to 50% off your order, that is, the next day from noon to midnight. A few ways you can think about saving. Game day feasts. A lot of basketball going on these days, of course. After an epic 50-point performance, celebrate by ordering wings, pizza, or burgers from your favorite spot delivered straight to your door. Late night cravings, whether you're staying up late, watching games, watching highlights, whatever the case might be, keep your Dash Pass in mind from DoorDash. Fueling your watch party, planning to catch the next game, whatever it might be, Dash Pass is where it's at. So sign up for Dash Pass and be ready to save. When a player, any player, scores 50 or more points in a regular season NBA game from now to the end of the season, Dash Pass members get 50% off and order the next day up to $10 off. Just use promo code NBA50 from noon to midnight after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. And Quentin Grimes almost got that for you tonight. How about, let me hit this one. There we go. How about the amazing people at FanDuel? March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action right now like never before. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 in extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, even who's cutting down the nets. Love picking my favorite squads when it comes to the March Madness that's going on. I've got my own a few underdogs. Also, FanDuel makes it easy to back those underdogs with point spreads, totals, and game props. Easy and fast payout. Let's not forget about that when it comes to the FanDuel app. It's simple to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around for your cash. So visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. And with all that money, you got to be checking out Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did the money go? There used to be money in here. Now there's not money in here. Well, Monarch Money helps you track it all. It's like your personal CFO, giving you visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. That's how you have to think of it. You can track your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. That's what Monarch Money is all about. When I started using Monarch Money, I realized how much spending on food deliveries, for instance. Monarch Money helps you track that. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner, for instance, your significant other, also makes it smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take advantage of your finances and take control as well with Monarch Money. Use promo code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. Talking a lot about the perfect loss here for the 76ers. What did they show you? Well, they showed you they could get off to a hot start. They showed you despite the second game of a back-to-back, they could go out and have a phenomenal effort in the first half of this game, which they did. All in all, Quentin Grimes at the break helped lead the Sixers with 14 points, 6 rebounds. Jared Butler had 14 points in the first half. That put the Sixers up 78-57 in the first half. The most points they've scored all season long in the first quarter, and the most points they've scored in the first half all season long. 78 points. So they did exactly what they were supposed to do and build off their momentum from the first half. Second half was going to be a bit of a test, and boy, was it. I mentioned that the Sixers got outscored in that third quarter 45-23. Houston struggled mightily, under 30% in the first half from beyond the arc. They go and they sink 9 threes in the third quarter alone to crawl back into that game. They were able to tie things up at 102 heading into the fourth quarter. Then that's when Grimes really started to shine. I mean, he was doing it all night, but he has 1 point in the third quarter, comes out in that fourth quarter, hits a 3, gets a hard-fought driving layup, then goes 2 for 3 for free throws when he got fouled from beyond the arc. He goes on a personal 7-0 run to put the Sixers up 109-102. Butler gets a block the other end, ends up being a turnover, goes back in Butler's hands. He knocks down a 3. Then that 7-0 run turns quickly into a 10-0 run for your 76ers, going up 112-102 to start the fourth quarter. I thought that was going to be our turning point of this game. Unfortunately, the Sixers started to leak a lot of oil after that, and the more players that got tossed or became unavailable from fouling out, the more technical free throws the Sixers got. That only fueled the fire of the Rockets even more. No pun intended. And they certainly took over with the icing on the cake with the 9 seconds left turnover from Quentin Grimes and the made free throw by Jabari Smith. And Brissett, by the way, getting pushed out from underneath. After that, there's one more instance that I got to bring up. And it really is a couple of them. One thing I loved about watching this game tonight, I mean, sure, it was great to see the Sixers just go off in the first half. But what I'm seeing from the Sixers team is a lot of fight. Grimes missed a dunk on a great turnover that he forced in the first quarter, ran down the other end, looked like he didn't have his steps about him. He looked like from the jump he was playing. Speaking of the jump tonight, Brissett actually jumped center for you. I mentioned earlier there was no center. Brissett was your jumping center tonight. But anyway, Quentin Grimes comes up with this great opportunity where he forces the turnover, goes down the other end, and then fails to throw down a dunk or a layup or whatever he was trying to do. That's how bad it was. But I noticed from the very beginning of this game, Quentin Grimes, being a Houston guy, was no doubt playing with some sort of Game 7 energy here. And that was enjoyable to watch. Hood-Schifino is Jalen Hood-Schifino is driving through the lane, getting fouled, getting an N1 situation. Brissett's doing the same thing, playing hard. Justin Edwards, same thing, playing hard. Look, I understand what the agenda is, and I understand the main thing. Keep the main thing, and the main thing is that top 6 pick. But watching these guys fight to put good stuff on tape for whoever their team is going to be next year. Some of these guys like Quentin Grimes, I hope it's the 76ers. It's still great to watch. And although it totally goes against what I want to see the Sixers do this year, I am all for guys playing as hard as they possibly can for 4 quarters in overtime. Third quarter, well out of their control. They just got dominated. They had no answers for it. And that goes to the talent available to the Sixers right now. But the fact that they could rally and still at least have this game going to overtime, put themselves in a position where they came close to winning. Hey, look, I understand usually there's no moral victories, but I'm still impressed by what you got by another shorthanded 9-player available 76ers squad tonight with no center playing in the game. And I'll say it again. I said it last night. I'll say it again. Who knew? Dallas had the worst thing they did at the trade deadline was deal Quentin Grimes to the Sixers. Clearly, nothing else was worse. What do we have here in the comments? Ari, just applauding. Thank you, Ari. I appreciate you. Thanks very much, man. Sixers are going to be, let's see. Okay, hold on. All right, so Sixers lose tonight in overtime. Good hustle, Sixers. And right now, the Toronto Raptors are down 20 points in the third quarter to the Phoenix Suns. Wah, 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 wah. That's a shame. Anyway, Sixers are still one of the 6 worst teams in the NBA. So that's fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll be back with you guys when the 76ers are back on the hardwood as they continue this road trip with game 3 of the 6-game road trip. That'll be, when is that? Thursday night? Thursday night at 8 o'clock against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Are they any good this year? By the way, the Sixers did this tonight shorthanded against the 5th best team in the NBA. Not the Western Conference, 5th best team in the NBA. That's pretty damn good. Sixers, Oklahoma City, Thursday night. Oh, and happy St. Patrick's to you guys, by the way, for all that celebrate. They play Oklahoma City, 8 o'clock Thursday night. See you guys then. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Sixers, moral victory tonight. Catch you guys Thursday night. See you. Bye.